You know the drill by now. We're going over the 4 rules of gun safety, okay? Number 1, treat every gun as if it is loaded, okay? Number 2, don't point it at something you are not willing to destroy. Number 3, keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to fire. Number 4, be sure of your target and what's beyond it. All of these are really simple, and everyone should be applying this every time they go shooting. It keeps you safe, and quite honestly, you're still having fun. Just don't shoot your friends. Like, come on. This is Matt with The Average Citizen. We are going to go over concealment basics. I'm going to go over gear, and then we're also going to talk about, the simpler things you should know about your gun, such as like slide release, reload, things like that. I will go over positions of carry. Obviously, appendix carry is the almighty, but there's a lot of people that, probably don't think like that, and I am sure there is someone that is not wanting to conceal carry at all. So obviously there's open carry, but don't. On top of concealment basics, we are also going to go over drills that you could do, ones that you can use with just one target, so that if you're at an indoor range, you can still have some sort of training aspect to when you go shooting. But if you're outdoors like this, it's a lot better to get more in tune with running and shooting at the same time, and then walking and shooting, just movement and shooting in general. I'm also going to discuss dry fire, and yes, you should be dry firing at home, whether it's just as simple as, you pick up your holster before you go to work or before you go out, and you just, do a couple reps. Not too crazy. You don't have to get too crazy with it. But it's good to just try and spend a little time with dry fire in general, whether it's while you're doing laundry or even petting your dog. Just make sure you're obviously being safe with it. Make sure your gun is unloaded, your ammo is locked away and away from you, because the last thing you want is to ND into your wall. Negligent discharge, if you didn't know what that was. Let's get started. All right, before we do this, empty mag, nothing in the chamber. Okay, so parts of the gun. We got the irons, slide, barrel, slide lock. This is the takedown lever. Trigger, mag release. On empty, your mag should lock back. You drop the mag, you insert a new one, and then you can drop the slide. And I'll reload it for you. A lot of guns have the rail system, so you can have lights, and then I think that's it. I'm sure there was other stuff we were going to talk about. I'll get back to you. Next thing is holster. This is a Kydex holster. This is the holster that I've been carrying the past, I want to say 6 months now. I've been carrying Kydex holsters for over 2 years now, but this one in general is the one that I've been carrying the most. I really like it. This one, it has a way to adjust your magazine cant so that you can push it down more into your belt, so it can conceal better, but it also makes it easier for reloads. Obviously, you don't need to get anything that fancy, but I would still recommend getting a Kydex holster. I do not recommend leather. Leather will break down over time. There's a big chance that it could induce a ND, negligent discharge, like we discussed. And you don't want that. That's bad. That's not good. So there is different carry positions that you can do. So if you start in the front, that's 12 o'clock. And then if you work your way around towards the right side, it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, so on. Another popular carry is 3 o'clock. It's just right here on the back side of your hip. The issue with that, though, is that I've tried it and I just can't conceal it as well. And I also can't see it. Whereas, I don't know if I am exposing my gun at all. I always want to make sure that my gun is concealed and not visible. So that's why I like the Kydex holster for appendix. As you saw at the beginning of the video, I shot a 50 round pistol course, the T-Rex Arms drill. And that is a good way to do this with, you know, if you have a place to go and do this kind of stuff. If you have to be at an indoor range, obviously the bill drill, it's 6 rounds from 7 yards. If you can't time it, that's okay. Just try and focus on hit placement. Another good simple one that I've mentioned before in my past videos is the Mozambique drill. That's 3 to 4 yards. I always do 3 yards, 2 rounds to the center, 1 round to the head. And then obviously if you can time it, try and time it. You can see about working towards a good score. And then if you can't time it, then try and focus on shot placement. If you can get it in the little A zones, then that's a good thing to work towards. And it should go without saying to stay safe and continue to train and better yourself. The last thing you want is to just throw it in a holster and then forget about it, because the last thing you want is for your mind to just revert back to where you started. And if you haven't even started training, then you probably won't know what to do in that situation. And obviously, I really hope none of you, I really hope I don't ever have to. I really, really want you guys to stay safe, and I want you guys to keep that in mind when doing this. And I did say at the beginning that I would talk about dry fire. Obviously, it is very important to do. It really helps keep that muscle memory going. But before you do any of that, you gotta make sure you lock up your ammo. You make sure that ammo is locked away. Hang up a few targets. If you don't have any of these condensed down targets, you can use a bigger target, or even a piece of paper, really. Just use literally anything that you can aim at in a safe manner, obviously. Don't aim it at your friends or your family, okay? It doesn't have to be extremely serious right now if you're beginning to start shooting. So just start with simple things, just aiming, pulling the trigger, trying to pull the trigger without the gun moving, just things like that. And then you can really get into it where you have a timer and you're, you know, doing drills and stuff. So see what you can do. And now gear, things that we've talked about. These are the belts that I've tried so far. This is a Langdon tactical belt, and it's stiff on the front. It's got a little flexibility on the sides and then stiff in the back. So this one was really nice. And then this one is a Core Essentials belt. It's just stiff all around. It's really nice if you're trying to conceal, but really nice if you're trying to ruin your back. This one is the one that I've literally carried for over a year now. And it is the Hunter Constantine belt. This is literally the most comfortable belt I've tried. So it's literally stiff on the front, completely stiff on the front, and then just elastic on the back. Super comfortable for concealed carry. Obviously only appendix because it's only stiff on the front. Now these belts are nice, but you can literally carry this with pants, joggers with belt loops, joggers without belt loops, and shorts, and even gym shorts. You could probably do it in your underwear, but obviously don't, because, you know, that'd be weird. All right, well, training is the most important. Gear is also important too in its own ways. So try and find gear that suits you. I will always recommend that you stick with Kydex. I really don't think leather is a good option. Another thing I didn't mention is regular leather belts. Those I don't recommend for carrying because they are just squishy all around and they're not going to conceal at all. So try and find something that has somewhat of a stiffness to it. But, you know, again, that's just my opinion. Everyone has opinions, so judge me, I don't care. Anyways, train hard, because gear at the end of the day isn't going to save your life. It's the training that will. So get that skill up. Also, have a good day. Don't be a victim. Okay, I'm going to go.